What's up, B Nation? Y'all, come on in, come on in. I am pulling up the video that Krista just did um, today. And y'all know what to do. Come on, share the video. Make sure you leave a comment. So, y'all, we're going to give me, while I'm talking to y'all, I'm getting this stuff straight now. All right. Hey, y'all, come on in. Y'all, I'm on my lunch break. That's why I'm running a little bit behind. But I want to come on. We're going to talk about some of the stuff that Krista talked about on her this video that she just did. Y'all. So I have a hey, what's up, Saint Mary? What's up, Wit? What's up, Tia Tot? Y'all, we got a lot to talk about. All right. So I got to give my disclaimer before we start. Y'all know I am 10 toes down with Alicia Kim concerning Boo. I will always have her back when it comes to that situation, 100%, right? We know Boo is off the chain. Hey, what's up, creation? And y'all share the video, guys. And I want to talk about. I want to go through. I recorded Krista's video, the one that she did this today. I think she did it today or last night today. And exactly, she's not with. But I want to go through it because her timeline is very interesting. And I want to point out what's up, Vivi. I want to point out some things that she said, and I want to go through the video. Before it was just I could just pick out things, but everything she said in there, I want to kind of pick some things apart. I want to give my opinion on some of the things. Give my what's up, Sandra. I want to give my commentary on some of the things that let me tell you, let me just give y'all my overall view of this. Krista and Nary was just in a dysfunctional relationship, period. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. I know how that can be. I was once married, and like I said, you don't get married to get divorced, but sometimes things happen. Okay, so y'all, we're gonna go ahead and pull her on up. Let's pull. Y'all, Krista, come up to the stage. Let me pull up. Wait, let me get it right. Let me get it right. Let me get it right. Here. Let me.
The timeline goes as such.
All right. Hold it. All right, y'all. We got it. Okay, y'all. It has the mobile view, so I got to make sure the mobile view is good too. All right, y'all. We got 32 people here. Y'all, I'm on my lunch break. We're gonna do this until about 5:30, and then we're gonna do part two. Whatever until we finish the video. Okay, part two, part three, whatever. Okay. Let's see here. All right, y'all, here we go. So what Krista is doing now, if y'all haven't seen this latest video here, that like I said, she either just did it today or whenever. She's given a little bit of timeline and she's given a little bit of details behind some of the things that we've heard, right? She's trying to give some level of timeline towards it and what she was going through and what all the good stuff. So let's hear.
March 23rd through March 25th, no, March 22nd through March 24th, I was notified by my partner that he will be going to a paintball event in Pennsylvania for 2 days. He returned late that evening, as expected, and then I saw a woman's name on his phone that alerted me to something. While he was in the bedroom sleeping next to our daughter, there were messages coming through on that black Apple Watch, that famous black Apple Watch. There were messages coming through. And the messages, I'm going to summarize the messages. There's messages coming through from a contact with a female name. And the messages basically said, my partner said, glad that we made it back on time or something to that effect. And then the female respondent said yes, and indicated that she just landed in Florida. And my partner responded, okay, that's great. Then the female respondent replied stating that she was in the Uber. And then the conversation just went back and went, okay, great, or something like that. And then I believe the female respondent finally said that she was home. And my partner responded, okay, great, now I can finally sleep. Good night, babe, talk to you later. And the female responded responded in the same manner. So that is what happened on what I saw on March 25th. That corresponds.
Okay, let's stop right here. This is March 25th. Okay. So, y'all, I'm assuming, right? Hey, Lauren. So I'm assuming that allegedly she's talking about Alicia Kemp. Okay. Where she saw these texts and stuff come through on March 25th. Right? What I think what is being left out here, number one, is what was happening prior to their marriage, prior to all this texting, because according to this girl here, as we listen through this, what she's saying is that I get the impression that this is something that he's been doing, according to her, allegedly, throughout the marriage. Okay. What you say? She's just marching because she showed March as the dates she was going to the ex-hubby. She's on. Oh, trust me. I peeped her game in this. Don't worry. I'm coming after her with. You don't have to worry because I peeped. The reason why I want to go through it step by step because I don't know who Krista must think that we just woke up yesterday as children, and that we just don't know, or we can read through certain things that she's saying. Okay, so Wit, absolutely, I'm most definitely gonna get to that. So and there's a few other things that shows exactly what I was talking about concerning her, and I don't think she even can see it. So she's talking about, obviously there's some text going through with Nary and allegedly Alicia Kim. She didn't call the person name. Okay, we're assuming that's what it is. She's saying Florida, Pennsylvania. We all know that she took a trip to Pennsylvania. We all know that she lived in Florida. Okay, so y'all, so the year was whenever she was living in Florida. I'm assuming that last year while she was separated from Boo. I don't know if that was 2023, y'all. Something like that, 2023. So let's finish that.
Correspondence. I saw the correspondence that was coming in actively, but then I also read the previous communications between my partner and the correspondent because it was a lot of communication between the two parties. So the trip or the event that I was informed that he was going to with a male counterpart, I was provided proof that there was a female there present as well. Whether he went to the paintball or not, wherever he went for that weekend, he was in the presence of a female. I flipped. And I only didn't flip because it sounds minor that, oh, babe, talk to you later, reached in Florida. No. I didn't flip because of that. I flipped because it has been an ongoing thing. It has been a recurring theme. It has been a pattern. And as I said, my channel is about recognizing patterns that sometimes we don't really see when we're inside of them. Sometimes we see it and sometimes we tend to ignore the patterns. So this was a pattern behavior of communicating inappropriately with persons who aren't your significant other. That was the buildup. When all of this happened, I was sitting and I was going back and I was revisiting majority of the times that I ignored certain things or I tried to address things and it was downplayed or it wasn't addressed. And it triggered me. I was triggered. And I reacted. My initial reaction was confronting him. You know, you don't even call me babe. You don't use terms of endearment with me. Terms of endearment are babe, honey, baby, those type of things. Cute little nicknames. So
y'all, I'm gonna stop right here. Okay. This is what Chris is not understanding. It's not all of a sudden this just happened, right? So all of a sudden, what she's saying at this point is that this has been a pattern of marriage, right? Throughout. Hello, Giovanna. Yeah, I think I'm pronouncing your name correctly. That this has been a pattern throughout her relationship, and I guess this was just the icing on the top. But this is what I don't understand. You don't have to flip. Okay, all the people that's on here. If you in a relationship, you married, you staying in a relationship, you don't have to flip. Baby, listen, you can be hurt, but you don't have to snap and put your life in danger along with the person that you claim you love as well. No, listen, I'm not saying that mental health is not serious. I'm not saying that certain things, can't cause mental health issues. What I'm saying is that if this has been a pattern throughout the relationship, what I'm trying to figure out, why were you still there? Can somebody help me understand that? Can somebody help me understand why are you still there? I understand that you want your marriage, but if this has been a consistent pattern before Alicia Kim, what I'm trying to figure out in my whole mind is, why are you still there? Because you didn't have to flip. After you start maybe one time, you had this conversation, you see it another time, right? You see it another time. What you do, you pack your bag and you leave. That's what you do. Right? What I'm trying to understand is why did you stay? I'm not saying you don't want your marriage. I fully understand that. I was married once. I didn't want a divorce, but I knew I had to go on through with it. So I understand giving it some time. I understand giving the person grace to reconcile their behavior. I promise you, I get it. I promise you, I get it. But at some point, when you see the first conversation or the second conversation, or you keep seeing things come up, at what point do you decide that you don't deserve this? And you pack your bags and you leave. What you don't do is get yourself in a situation to where your mental health is being tampered with. That you don't do, right? Why in the world, y'all, listen to me. Listen to me. Ain't no marriage worth your mental health. To where you put yourself in the situation to where you have he the one allegedly, according to you, he the one cheating, and you gonna have you gonna let your mental health get bad? The devil is a whole liar. The devil is a whole liar. No. You pack your bags and take care of your mental health. Take your kid, pack your bags, and you leave. Because if he's doing this, if he's doing this, this is not a good environment for the kid. Exactly. You listen. You can't run. Let me tell you. You can't run no whole another person down trying to convince them to have a conversation with you about something that they should have a conversation with you about. You've seen this pattern. You've seen this come up more than once. And then talking about the last thing was the thing with Alicia Kim is why you flip. No, ma'am. See, this is why I'm saying y'all single people, y'all young people, even when you young and married, y'all need some mentors. Because see, this didn't have to be. The marriage was very dysfunctional. Exactly, creation. But I tell you that whole entire marriage was toxic. But so was Boo and Alicia's. It was just toxic. Okay, let's
March 2024. We've been married since September 2021, and I don't recall getting those type of communications with me. Okay, I addressed it with him.
Okay, So what? You married somebody that didn't call you honey and baby and all that kind of stuff. So now, I mean, so what? Okay, so let me explain this to everybody that's on here. This is something very simple to understand. If you like a man that opened up the doors for you, if you like a man that like to call you baby and sweetheart, then you date the man that do those things. What you don't do, okay, is date somebody that don't do those things and then harass him to the rest of the year to do it. That makes no sense. They don't do endearment. They don't call you baby. They not sweet like that. If you know that and that's important to you, then you don't marry and date that one. That's not hard to understand. Whatever you like, if you like one that opened up the door, date somebody that opened up the door. If you like someone that wants to call you baby sweetheart, then that's the kind of person you date and you marry. You don't marry the opposite and then harass the person for the rest of your marriage that they don't call you baby. It is nonsensical to me. with with something's been going on in that marriage way before Alicia Kim came. What I'm realizing, they were dysfunctional before Alicia Kim even dropped a hat in it. They're just toxic.
There was no reaction from him. There was no response. There was no accountability. There was nothing. It was just staring there with me, staring there at me with just empty eyes. He went back to bed with our daughter, and I decided I was going to take a drive to clear my mind. So I got up, went out, took a drive there's a special spot where you can overlook New York City, because we can see New York City from New Jersey. I went there, but I was very uneasy with my driving, and I was trying to process what I saw and what really was happening. I felt that I shouldn't be out there driving like that, so I came back home. When I came back home, I didn't feel like going back in the house. I didn't want to be in that space. So I called my ex-husband. Hey, are you up? Such and such, this is what's happening. Can I come talk to you? So I went and I talked to him. I let him know what's going on. It's an embarrassment, to say the least, to go to someone you had once had this intimate relationship with, you once had this partnership with, this marriage with, and then come and tell them, this is what I'm going through with my current partner. It's an embarrassing thing to do, but we had the conversation. I opened up to him about what's going on, and during the conversation, in between that time frame of me going to his house and whatever it was, I came up with the idea of traveling for my birthday.
Okay, let me stop right here. I'm gonna stop right here. Now, I don't know who Krista thinks she pimping on this right here. I don't know who Krista thinks she pimping on this. Because number one, you have no business putting your ex-husband in your current marriage. That's just like me getting married. Then when I get mad and we fall out, me and my current husband fall out, I'm a locate my ex-husband and have a conversation with him about it. I don't think so. I don't care if y'all do have a kid concerning have a kid together. You don't call your ex-husband and put him in your current marriage business because you got too much family and you got too much friends you can do that with, or you can just go to a counselor or a therapist. So all this nonsense, as in she trying to ease over that. No, ma'am, no, ma'am, no, sir. That's not how that works. You don't get to call your ex-husband and put him in your current marriage. That's not how that works. Krista, you are not being honest. I don't care if y'all are friends. I don't care. I know y'all got a kid together, but that is just something you just don't do. You can let him know that things may not be going as well and you may need him to keep the kid, but that's all you need to say. You don't need to be calling your ex-husband because he is an ex for a reason, telling him about your current husband and what he's doing and what he's not doing. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Don't who you trying to pimp with that? You are out of line. So them numbers, whatever you saw on that phone with your ex-husband, then you turn right around and then you go to the ex-husband. I mean, with your estranged husband, because by that time y'all was living in the same house, but y'all were estranged. Because just the mere fact that he would not respond to you, just because the mere fact that he would not give you an explanation, just because the mere fact he could care less, zero about your feelings, about what you saw on that phone, that should have been a sign to you. Get your bags and get out. And go get some counseling somewhere. But you don't get to go to your ex-husband house and then ask everybody to act like, and so that's just where I went. You know, that's just where I went. And then, I went there for a couple of days and then I went on. Well, that correct. Correct, St. Mary. Correct. What I'm saying is that she don't get to breeze over that. As in if somehow y'all that's acceptable. Well, then I call my ex-husband, and it's just embarrassing to have to tell him, right? Because you had no business telling him. You had no business calling him. Have you, y'all? Hun, listen, hun. They are so toxic. They were very toxic together. Can't you see it? She finds things on his phone. He not willing to explain it. Obviously, the marriage was jacked up all before because obviously, according to her, this is a pattern. Then she thought the right thing to do was to call her ex-husband to talk about the current husband and what's going on. No, ma'am, no, sir. No, ma'am, no, sir. That you don't do. That I don't care how close you are. That you don't do. Then you stay with him for a couple of days, and you decide to go to Panama. That's what she said. Well, let's finish listening to it. I don't want to jump ahead. No, ma'am. And if anybody that's just not understanding what she's saying, Krista was wrong for calling her ex-husband and getting him involved in that. Period. She had no business going to his house. If she noticed that a pattern with her husband, that he was doing inappropriate things with women and he was not honoring the marriage, her responsibility is get your behind out and your daughter and file for a divorce. Correct. And my whole point is correct, Sandra. She acting like she had nowhere else to go. Bull crap. Mm-mm, 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 mm-mm. No, no, no. She's not being honest. And what she wants everybody to do is just smooth over, like, I went to go stay with my ex. And, it's embarrassing to have to come. First of all, you had no business calling. Should have called your mama. How you got a whole mama? How you got a whole mama and won't call your mom? You got a whole brother, a whole man in your family. And then she said with those couple of days, she called them, but no one picked up. If you got money to go to Panama, you got money to go stay in a hotel for a night until you get a hold of somebody the next day. But that's what I'm saying. You mean to tell me you baby, if you got money to go to Panama, you got money that you could have, because you went to Panama a few days later. You could have stayed in a hotel for a day, or Airbnb for a few days until you get a hold of your mama and your brother, which I do not buy. If she thinks she can say that nonsense and think we gonna buy that, she can miss me with that. Now, right? Who's that? Who's that? B. Let me see what B. Yeah, because this is a good point. I think Nary know. I think Nary knew she was still seeing her ex. That's why she was abusive to Nary, and he fell out of love with her and filed for divorce. See, watch Nary come out and rebuttal some of this stuff, right? But what I want to show y'all is the level of talk, the dysfunction that was in that marriage. And what did I say to y'all? That Krista and Nary are responsible for the breakdown of their marriage way before Alicia Kim came in the picture. Way before. But you calling your ex-husband? Can you imagine how her current husband feels, knowing that the ex-husband know his business? I mean, you see what? No, See, this shows pretty much what I've been saying to y'all all the time. She dysfunctional. She is dysfunctional. She needs healing. Because normal people, when you're healed and you see stuff like that, you pack your bag and you go. Y'all cannot be that much in love until you let the situation put you in such a state to where you can no longer use wisdom. Y'all, I love me. I ain't going to jail. Baby, let me tell you, your stuff ain't gonna never be that good to where I'm going put myself in a position to go to jail over because you seen somebody else. Well, baby, they can have you. They can have you. If you show me that kind of pattern throughout the marriage, they can have you, baby. You don't have to explain nothing to me because I'm out. Baby, I don't even need to know why you dysfunctional. Once I know, let me tell you one thing, and then I'm gonna get onto this thing about her. Now listen, they're in a toxic relationship. She done seen multiple inappropriate emails, and then they're gonna decide to have a baby. Now you can tell me how bad crazy can you be? Can somebody help me with that? Y'all are already dysfunctional. Then y'all choose to bring a baby in that. I'm gonna get okay. Let me go. It's 5:30. Let me go and do a little bit more.
I was there a couple of days at my ex-husband's house, and I said, no, man. The reason I came up with traveling for my birthday is because my daughter was born in April of 2023. And
I'm stopping to answer St. Mary. St. Mary, no. So St. Mary, what she did based on what she remembered, she put those things based on the timeline. She based on what she remembered. I don't think she took pictures of them. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think she took picture of all of those conversations. I think she just read them. So throughout the marriage, she was reading different inappropriate text messages from different women. So in other words, Alicia Kim was not the first one, allegedly, according to her, that this is a pattern throughout of the out the marriage. So no, they are not authentic, like actually coming from his iPhone or whatever she's saying. She's just saying she's giving a timeline of it herself, and based on what she remembers. And so, but my issue is, true or not, if you believe that, why are you still there? This is what I'm talking about, the unhealthiness of this stuff. Y'all can't be, listen, the man mistreating you, then you turn around and mistreat yourself and stay. I'm not understanding. I'm just really not, y'all. I understand love. Listen, I understand being in love, but come on now.
Took maternity leave from my job, coupled with disability. So I was out till about September, staying home with our daughter, caring for our daughter. I went back to work in mid-September or so, and I had a flexible schedule where I do still have a flexible schedule where I have a remote job. I can work remote. I can work from home a few days, and I could go into the office a couple of days. So the majority of childcare and responsibility was on me for the newborn. And with everything that was happening, I said, no, it's very unfair for my partner to just up and go places. There's never no concern of, do I need to be anywhere? Is there anything I need to do? Is there any way I can assist you, or I can be assisted with childcare before I leave? Those conversations never happen. Those conversations never happen. I was just told, this is what's happening. This is where I'm going. This is when I'm going to be gone.
Y'all, you know what? Krista act like Krista knows that this is not new to anybody, right? Hey, Dr. Charles, listen. Krista act like this is new, okay? Like people not selfish in marriage. If anybody on here married, can you enlighten the people? You have selfish moments, okay? This is nothing new. It's really nothing new. People sometimes are very selfish in marriage. And sometimes, no, men don't always have the wisdom that they need to be able to navigate that. Sometimes most men, not all, but most men are selfish. Okay. Okay. That's just, most men are selfish. Okay. He didn't help you around the house. He didn't help you with the kid. That is not a new story. That is common in a lot of marriages. Okay, no problem. All right. Okay. So this is my thing to Kristen. All of these details is not necessary. We listen. I'm not trying to say I don't empathize with her, right? Because I want marriages to last, right? I'm for marriage. Okay. But y'all, okay. I'm sorry. He didn't help you with the kid. That's pretty common. But that has nothing to do with you remaining in a marriage per your own mouth, that you remaining in a marriage that has shown a consistent pattern of inappropriate behavior with women. So you stay until you flip. I can't comprehend. I understand that you want your marriage, like I'm not that, but at what point do you say to yourself, Krista, I deserve better, so I'm getting out of here? If that's what it's all about. If you're just saying that from the beginning of your marriage, because based on what Krista is saying, based on the beginning of her marriage, that somehow that she's seen this pattern consistently of him dealing with women inappropriately. Okay. So what I'm not understanding is why are you staying? And then now then you stay until you flip, and then you get arrested. You try to unalive the man. Really? I'm just not understanding. So marriages all of a sudden, listen, I'm not saying that there's not men like that. I'm not trying to take up an area. I'm just saying to you, I'm just saying, so what? Just all of a sudden, y'all got married and this just started happening, right? the bottom line is that the relationship was very toxic. And that's my point to Krista. The relationship was very toxic. We do not care about all of this minor details and whether he helped you with the kid or not. Because anybody that has been married understands how marriage goes. Okay? We get it. I promise you. If you've been married, we understand. What I've been trying to say about Krista, that Krista needs to be healed. She needs to be sitting on somebody's couch because she is not healed enough to be coming out here having this story or telling this story. Exactly, Dr. Charles. It was toxic from the beginning. I can tell it. It comes all out. And what I'm not comprehending is that you mean to tell me there's no one around Krista that say, hey, listen, you're not in a good situation. You might want to go get some counseling. Or if you see your spouse consistently bringing other women into the marriage, for one, that is just dangerous, right? You can get ill, you can catch it. I mean, you don't. What I'm saying is there's so many different things that she could have navigated through this thing to get some help. But now, but for you to act like see, y'all, listen to me. We just don't do commentary over here. We just don't get into like the weeds of the nonsense. One of the things that I try to do is bring some wisdom to those that are watching, especially if you're single and you're trying to navigate this thing called single life and you want to be married. Marriage is a very serious thing. You have to choose correctly. If you don't choose correctly, you're going to find yourself in a situation like Krista. Krista is in so much denial about how dysfunctional she thinks. So she cannot even see that there's anything wrong with calling the ex-husband. You can tell it from the conversation, right? You can tell how she talks about it. I can clearly see that she doesn't see anything wrong with calling her ex-husband. And I'm just telling you, y'all, that wasn't a good idea. That wasn't a good idea. And all the details of how dysfunctional they were, we don't care. I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that what we're saying to Krista, that her and Sheena have no relevance in this story with Boo and Alicia Kim. They were pulled in on the other folks' hatred for Alicia Kim. That's why their names came up. That's why pictures came up about her being at the funeral and all that kind of stuff. That's how they came about. But because Nary will not talk to her, and because Nary will not pretty much give her an explanation, that's why she's out here. That's why she's out here. Because now she wants to, now she wants to be able to give her say, right? Because before Nary wouldn't give her the time of day. Dr. Charles, oftentimes women who are in these types of relationships stay and try to save face by living a lie in front of 100%, because I did it. Y'all, listen, I can recognize the lie. I know the game. I know the game. When you are unhealthy, you convince yourself, baby, to believe the lie as if you just as normal as you can be. You see that she is so dysfunctional. And when I saw this video, I said, see, I can see it from the beginning. You cannot force anyone to have a conversation with you about how dysfunctional they're behaving towards you. So what you do, you flip and then go get a knife or whatever and try to unalive him? What kind of nonsense is that? Y'all single women? Did I tell y'all the most beautiful thing you can do is have Jesus and a therapist? You need those two. You don't walk around here dysfunctional. You don't want. I don't understand why y'all choose dysfunction over healing. I can't comprehend it. This, no matter, I'm telling you, she thinks what she is saying is just normal. Like it's just yes. And then I called my ex-husband, and I was embarrassed that he, to even have to tell him that. Girl, you have no business even calling your ex-husband. Oh my God, Girl Interrupted. Lord Jesus. Y'all remember that movie, Girl Interrupted? Yeah, I promise you. Honey, Sheena, they are girls interrupted. I'm just telling you, they need counseling. Well, see, let me tell you, see, this is what Krista doesn't understand, and I empathize with this. No one wants to be divorced again. You had your first marriage. Then now you see that this is headed that way. If nothing wrong, redemption is in all of us, right? Why? Because of Christ. There's nothing wrong with wanting to reconcile back to what you love. Jesus is the example, right? It's nothing wrong with that. That's an automatic thing that happens with all of us. I don't care how smart we are. I don't care how wonderful we are. There's something in us I think that's built inside of us that when we see, listen, when we see that something's about to end that we love, it's an automatic thing I believe God puts in us that we automatically want to try to reconcile. I think that is a healthy response. Absolutely. What happens is that when it becomes dysfunctional is when once you try to reconcile and the other person says no and you try to force it, that's when you become dysfunctional. Right? So of course it's in her. Who wants to have a second divorce? No one wants to even have a first one. So then I empathize with her. Like, of course, she doesn't want to have another failed marriage. I would want to have another failed marriage. That's human. That she should feel that way, but not at any cost. Not at any cost. To where you begin to try to take the will away from the other person and force them to do something that they're not willing to do towards you, and that's fine. Just like Nary gets the choice not to respond, you get the choice, Krista, to walk out and leave. Keep your peace and go get healed. I get it. I understand it. I'm not ignorant about the situation that she's in. I understand it, y'all. I promise you I do. My issue with this is that the internet is exploiting her pain and her hurt and her dysfunction. She doesn't fully understand that. What she telling us, she don't need to be telling us that she need to go sit down with a counselor and get herself healed and figure out, okay, this is my second divorce. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Correct. My point is that we're not over here trying to determine that we know everything about the situation. We can't. I just know as a divorced person, I just know how messy I just know how messy married people are when they get divorced. And I know that they like to point the finger. They are not interested in being and taking responsibility for the part that they played in the dysfunction or the breakdown of their marriage. They're not interested because they're selfish. They're only interested in pointing the finger. That's why no one gets healed. And that's why the children suffer because no one is interested in getting healed. I just want to be right. That's what they're interested in. I just want to get my point across. Y'all, listen, I know the game. I did it myself. You in your mind, you think it's a right or wrong issue. It's no, it's not. It's more than the mere fact that you both are so toxic with each other, do you really think it's about a right or wrong? No, there's something wrong with both of you all. No, listen, that is a realization I had to come to when it came to my own marriage. No, there's something wrong with me and there's something wrong with him. And both of us need to get somewhere and go sit down and get some counseling, get some spiritual counseling, some just regular counseling, and learn how to heal from our dysfunction. And then when we have the next relationship, we know how to treat the person well and we know how we should be treated. Come on. Y'all, this dysfunction, Nary and Krista was not a good fit, period. Now, Krista can cry me a river about all of this, okay? She can, listen, I know she's hurt. I'm not trying to minimize that. I'm just telling y'all that to come out and to bring this dysfunction out on the internet when she didn't have to participate in this. Don't get me wrong. No woman wants to see other women texting their spouses. Now, but my thing is, we don't know why Nary started displaying this behavior. Now, let me make this clear, and I'm going to put this out there. Let me make this clear, because I need everybody to know this. Krista is not responsible for Nary committing adultery, allegedly, if that's what he did. Because adultery is not a marriage issue, it is a behavior issue. And Krista is not responsible for you taking your penis out and putting it in a vagina. No, ma'am, no, sir. I'm telling y'all that right now. Adultery is no one else's fault. And if anybody try to blame you for them going out, making a conscious decision to take their stuff out of their pants or whatever, baby, you are living a whole lie. That's a character issue. That's an integrity issue. That's not a marriage issue. It affects the marriage, but that's a behavior issue. Absolutely, Dr. Charles. Absolutely. Let me tell y'all something. Krista is not responsible for her estranged husband adultery. Never has been and never will be. I don't care, baby, what she was doing. Nobody can make you go out and cheat. And anybody that tries to blame somebody else for you, as in if somebody fall inside. Okay, really? Don't you know you got to take your pants off? You got time to think. You got to take your clothes off. You got time to think. Listen, baby, adultery is on the person that commits it. Nobody is responsible for you committing adultery. Period. Oh yeah, my ex-husband made me fall on the penis. What kind of spirit you operate? You operate in a whole different kind of spirit. Adultery is wrong. I don't care who you like, who you don't like. You got to call it what it is. Period. You don't get to cheat on me and tell me you cheated on me because I made you. That's not how that works. No, it was because of her. So what did I do? Just cause you to fall right into it, huh? Really? Is that what we're doing? Y'all, listen. That's not a game y'all want to play. Don't ever let nobody that has committed adultery convince you that it was the other person's fault. That's a behavior issue. Those are character issues, and those are integrity issues. Now, I know what I'm talking about. All right? Listen, I ain't just been born yesterday. I was married. Those things just doesn't happen like, you can't blame somebody for you committing adultery. I don't care how bad the household was. You don't get to say to me, well, I know you messing around, so I'm going to go mess around too. No, ma'am. No, ma'am, no, sir. That's not how that works, y'all. So, according to Krista, this is the pattern that's been going on the whole time in their marriage. I don't know what Nary Butter's going to be. Okay, y'all, it's 5:53. I gotta go. I gotta go back to work because I get off at 7. I'm gonna do part 2. What is tomorrow? Friday? Okay, y'all. I'm gonna do part 2 tomorrow, around about 5:30, what or something like that. 5:30, 6 o'clock. But let me, and we're gonna finish this. But I'm just telling y'all, I want to make it clear on B Nation, on B's Way of Life. We don't condone adultery. We don't condone a verbal abuse. We don't condone physical abuse. And what we do, we just don't give commentary, but we learn from it. What I want to see for Krista is she gets away and go sit down and go get healed. And stop giving us the details of all these things because we don't care. The bottom line is that y'all toxic together. And why would you still want it? That's what I can't come. You still want them. You still want him after all this? Man, you got to self-esteem is important. Self-worth is important. I'm just saying, y'all. These things are important for you to have before you get into a relationship. So you don't let people just mistreat you. Because see, you got one time to tell me you don't want me. Oh, you don't want me? No, oh, okay, no problem. I'm out. I'm just saying. If there were multiple women that he had been dealing with throughout this marriage, that's a problem. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm saying allegedly. I'm not saying I believe it. I'm just saying based on what she's saying, that's the problem, y'all. And that behavior doesn't go away when you get into the next relationship. If that's true, listen to me. If that's true, y'all, listen to me. If that is true, that behavior does not leave for the next relationship. If you don't get your character together, if you don't get that behavior together, it doesn't stop. That's all I'm gonna say. St. Mary, absolutely. Listen, y'all, I will never condone. Let me make this clear. I will stand 10 toes down with Alicia Kim. All this hatred and evilness towards her is off the chain. It is wicked, it's demonic, and I will always fight for her when it comes to that. It is wrong for them to be doing what they're doing to Alicia Kim. Whatever things that she's gotten herself into concerning dealing with someone else's husband, that is between her and the Lord. Same thing when it comes to this Christian stuff. That's my point is Christian. We don't have to know all of these details. The marriage is technically over. Y'all just going through the court system to get it legalized. All the details don't matter to us. The relationship is over. You're toxic. You shouldn't be together. They just shouldn't be together, period. So I don't care if he talked to Alicia Kim or if they don't talk to Alicia Kim. Those two shouldn't be together. I don't care who he's with. Y'all are not a good fit because y'all toxic. And stop running from man to man to man to man to man and get yourself healed. And get yourself healed. Stop all this running from man to man to man and y'all broken. Just keep y'all, oh my God, we're gonna just keep creating broken homes. And all of these children, when they grow up, got to see this, y'all. When they grow up, all this gonna be on the internet. All this right here. Ooh, baby. God bless them. What I see here in this whole thing is young people just not understanding. They just don't have the wisdom to see that if I make this decision, it may not be a good one. But y'all, I'll be back on tomorrow, part 2 tomorrow, and we're gonna finish this out tomorrow. All right, y'all. I got to go back to work. I got 2 minutes to log back on. All right, y'all. Bye.